Hello students, welcome back to your 7th standard mathematics class. Today we begin lesson number 10, Banks and Simple Interest. A bank is a government recognized organization that carries out transactions of money. We must save some part of the money that we earn for future use like education, building a house, medical expenses, etc. The facilities provided by a bank are passbook, checkbook, ATM card, mobile banking, SMS banking, and internet banking. To use these banking services, one has to open an account in a bank. The various types of bank accounts are saving account, current account, recurring deposit account, fixed deposit account, etc. Current account. Current account is mainly for traders and those dealing in money on a daily basis. An account holder can deposit or withdraw money any number of times in a day. The bank issues a passbook for this account and also a checkbook on demand. The bank does not pay any interest on the money in this type of account. Money can also be withdrawn or deposited by check. Savings account. A person can deposit a minimum amount and open the savings account. In some banks, no minimum amount is required for opening an account. The bank pays some interest on the basis of the daily credit balance in the account. There are some restrictions on how often money can be withdrawn from this account. The bank issues a passbook and a checkbook. Recurring deposit account. The account holder can decide the amount to be deposited every month in this account. The bank gives an interest on the deposit which is more than that paid for the savings account. Such an account is a means of compulsory savings. Fixed deposit. A depositor deposits a certain amount for a fixed period in the bank. This deposit attracts a greater rate of interest than saving account. However, these rates are different in different banks. Senior citizens get a slightly greater rate of interest than the usual. Now let's see what is meant by interest. A bank pays some money for depositing money in the bank. The more you have in the bank, the more interest you earn. Now let's see how you calculate this interest. First, let us learn a few terms which are related to the calculation of interest. Principal. The money deposited in the bank or the money lent by a bank to a borrower is called the principal. Interest. Interest is a payment in exchange for the use of money over a period of time. You can earn interest by lending your money to a bank. Conversely, you pay interest when you borrow money from a bank. Rate of interest. When calculating interest on a deposit or a loan, the rate of interest is given for every 100 rupees. The rate of interest is for a given period of time. A rate of interest, percent per annum, written as PCPA, gives the amount of interest due on every 100 rupees for a period of 1 year, that is annually. Now, have you seen a passbook? You must have seen this book with your parents. Observe the entries made in the page of a passbook. It gives you the date, the particulars, like you have deposited or withdrawn cash, or you have deposited the money using a check. If you have given a check, the check number is printed here. If you have withdrawn the amount, that amount is entered in this column. The last column shows the balance amount in your account. Here you can see an entry as interest. That means for depositing this money in the bank has given you an interest of rupees 135. Now let's have a look. On 2nd February 2016, the amount deposited was, yes, you deposited an amount of 1500 rupees. And the balance in the account is 7,000 rupees. Same way, on 12th February 2016, you have withdrawn the amount using a check. The check number is given here, 243965, and the amount that you have withdrawn is 3,000 rupees. And the balance in the account now is 9,000 rupees. So by looking at the page of the passbook, you can come to know the transactions that you have made. A passbook is issued for a saving account and a recurring deposit account. The amount deposited, withdrawn, and the balance are all recorded in this book with the dates.
Now let's see an example. Suvidha borrowed a sum of 30,000 rupees at 8% per annum interest for a year from her bank to buy a computer. At the end of the period, she had to pay back an amount of rupees 2,400 over and above what she had borrowed. Now, based on this information, answer the following. What is the principal in this case? She borrowed 30,000 rupees. So the principal is rupees 30,000. The principal is rupees 30,000. Now what is the rate of interest? The money was borrowed for 8% per annum interest. So the rate of interest is 8% per annum. She had to pay back an amount of rupees 2,400 over and above what she had borrowed. That means rupees 2,400 is the interest to be paid. So interest is rupees 2,400. She had borrowed the money for 1 year, so the time is 1 year. What's the total amount that she has to return to the bank? The total amount returned to the bank will be the principal plus the interest. That is 30,000 plus 2,400. So the total amount returned to the bank is 32,400 rupees. So we have the formula amount is equal to principal plus interest. Now in your previous standard you had studied how to calculate the simple interest for 1 year. Let us see an example based on that. Akash deposited 25,000 rupees in a bank at a rate of 8% per annum for 3 years. How much interest does he get every year? How much altogether? Here we have to calculate the interest that he gets every year and also the total interest that he will get after 3 years. So first let us calculate the simple interest for 1 year. The principal is 25,000 rupees. Time is 3 years. The rate of interest is 8% per annum. This means that the interest on 100 rupees is 8 rupees. Now let us assume that the interest on 25,000 rupees for 1 year is X rupees. So we know that the ratio of interest to principal is a constant. That is, as the principal increases, the interest also will increase. So we have X upon 25,000 is equal to 8 upon 100. Multiplying both sides by 25,000, we get X is equal to 8 multiplied by 250. Therefore, X is equal to 2,000. That is, the interest for 1 year is rupees 2,000. Therefore, interest for 3 years will be 2,000 multiplied by 3, that is equal to rupees 6,000. So, the interest received for 1 year is rupees 2,000 and the total interest received for 3 years is rupees 6,000. Now let's learn the formula used to solve problems on simple interest. In simple interest, the principal is the same every year and the rate of interest also remains the same. The interest calculated in this way is what you call as simple interest. Now let's calculate the total interest when the principal P is deposited for T years at R rate of interest. Let's suppose that the interest for 1 year is I. Now let's see the ratio of interest to principal for 1 year. We have I upon P is equal to R upon 100. Therefore, we have I is equal to R multiplied by P upon 100. That is, this is the interest for 1 year. Now let's find the interest for, say, T years. Now this is the interest for 1 year. To find the interest for T years, we have to multiply I by T. So interest for T years is equal to I multiplied by T. Let's substitute the value of I here. I is R multiplied by P divided by 100. So we have the total interest I is equal to P multiplied by R multiplied by T upon 100. That is principal multiplied by rate of interest multiplied by time, the whole divided by 100. So remember this formula, I is equal to PRT upon 100. Now we'll be using this formula to solve the sums on simple interest. Now let's see practice set 40. The first question. If Rihanna deposits 1500 rupees in the school fund at 9% per annum for 2 years, what is the total amount she will get? First let us write what is given. So the principal is 1500 rupees, the rate of interest is 9% per annum, and the time is 2 years. What's the formula for finding the simple interest? Yes, I is equal to P multiplied by R multiplied by T upon 100. Now let's substitute these values. So we have 1500 multiplied by, the rate of interest is 9 multiplied by 2, which is the time, divided by 100. Let us cancel the zeros. So we have I is equal to 15 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 2. That's equal to 270. So the interest received on rupees 1500 after 2 years is rupees 270. We have to calculate the total amount that she will get at the end of 2 years. How will you get that? Yes, we know amount is equal to principal plus interest. The principal is 1500 rupees plus the interest is 270 rupees. So the total amount is 1770 rupees. That is, at the end of 2 years, Rihanna will get 1770 rupees. So your final answer is Rihanna will get rupees 1770.
Please solve the sums done in the video once again. Thank you and have a nice day.